falling like a dive-bombing plane. With its wings folded back, the Peregrine Falcon can reach speeds of up to 186 miles per hour. This bird belongs to a group called raptors, unlike others like the condor, which are classified as scavenger birds or vultures. Raptors are birds that feed on the meat of other animals. The Peregrine Falcon is classified in the Falconidae family, being a diurnal raptor, unlike owls, which hunt during the night. This is because they are adapted to have exceptional vision during the day, but their eyes do not have the ability to produce a clear image in the dark. Even so, falcons and eagles have the best eyesight among living creatures. To begin with, their eyes take up a large portion of their head, giving them a wider field of view. Additionally, they have great resolution in the center of their vision. Humans would also be classified as visual animals, as we heavily rely on our sight. This helps us mainly identify whether food is spoiled or underripe, and for this, our eyes have 150,000 to 200,000 light receptors in the retina. However, these raptors have 1.5 million receptor cells, giving them a sharper and more detailed image than ours. This helps them spot prey miles away. There are significant differences between falcons and eagles. The easiest way to tell them apart is by size, but among species of these groups, it can vary greatly, making them easy to confuse. The most noticeable difference is in the wings, which, when extended, form a W from the secondary and primary feathers. But this alone isn't enough. The main difference lies in the shape of the beak, where falcons have sharp protrusions near the commissure of the maxilla. Other differences include flight style. Eagles, being heavier, need more flapping, while falcons glide as they flap, which is a good way to distinguish them mid-flight. The Peregrine Falcon measures between 13.4 and 22.8 inches in height, with a wingspan reaching up to 39.4 inches. Its back and wings are dark bluish-black, which can transition to gray with black spots. Its chest and the inner part of its wings are white, and its beak, the area around its eyes, and its legs are bright yellow. The name Peregrine Falcon comes from its migratory habits. This bird has some of the longest migrations, and it is found almost all over the planet, except for the poles, as it is not adapted to withstand the extreme cold of those regions. It prefers mountainous areas and steppes to settle in. Depending on the time of year, it can be seen in different countries. For example, in early fall, many peregrine falcons can be seen flying in various states of Mexico, and sightings are fewer in early spring. This behavior is due to several reasons. The first is that they follow the flocks of other migratory birds, like the Canada goose, which arrives in winter in Mexico, bringing with it a large flock of peregrines. Another reason for their migration is reproduction. Falcons reach maturity between the ages of 2 and 3, and there is a very pronounced sexual dimorphism, with females being up to 30% larger than males. If you've never seen one, it is very difficult to tell the difference, but over time, with a simple glance, you will be able to identify which one is the female. They have a very showy courtship ritual, consisting of aerial acrobatics and spiral flights in the shape of a figure 8. Meanwhile, the male passes a prey item to the female while still in the air. To do this, the female flies backward, receiving the food from the male's talons. If they succeed, they will be lifelong partners, being monogamous, and aside from this, they always return to the same nest, favoring cliffs, tall trees with crevices, or even antennas or building ledges. They are very territorial animals, with a territory that can span 0.62 miles, where they do not allow another family to feed within it. This ensures a steady supply of resources, both for the parents and the chicks. Egg-laying occurs from February to March in the Northern Hemisphere, and from July to August in the Southern Hemisphere, with 2 to 4 eggs being laid, which are incubated for 31 days, mainly by the female, while the male hunts for both of them. Although they are predators, they are also prey to other species, especially during the breeding period. Ravens try to steal the eggs to eat them. Some eagles hunt the parents while they are hunting, and some felines, like lynxes, also pose a threat. It is said that the main predator of this species in America is the Eurasian eagle owl, which preys on both the parents and the eggs and neonates, hunting them at night when they are most defenseless, especially while the chicks are feathering, a process that lasts from 42 to 46 days, and they are dependent on their parents until they are 2 months old. When these young birds begin to take flight, both parents start teaching them how to hunt prey, with one scaring the prey and the other chasing it, like in the movie Jurassic Park with the velociraptors, though I don't think they know how to open doors, or at least I hope they don't. When they are not raising chicks, the pair stays together and uses the same strategy for hunting, where one scares and the other attacks. They do this during the day and at dusk, but in cities and during migrations, the pursuits can take place at night, as the lighting in cities allows them to spot prey during this time of day. They prefer flying birds because they are easier to catch. When prey is frightened, the attacker positions itself above the prey and dives at speeds of over 186 miles per hour, 300 kilometers per hour. It might not be running, and the bird gets help from gravity and aerodynamics, but this is what makes it the fastest vertebrate in the world, competing with the tiger beetle and Paratarsotomus macropalpes for the title of the fastest, due to its size compared to the aforementioned. When descending at these speeds, the peregrine strikes its prey so hard that the lungs rupture from the pressure generated, and sometimes the prey dies simply from the impact. If this is not enough, it holds the prey with its talons while it is stunned or unconscious. However, the impact and pressure generated could also kill the falcon, which is why they are adapted to absorb such an impact with their legs, and they have small bony tubercles in their nostrils to regulate the air and breathe while diving. Additionally, they have a membrane in the eye called the nictitating membrane that protects the eyes, cleans them, and maintains equal vision. When hunting terrestrial animals, the speed is lower, but they still use the same method. They are animals that live an average of 15 years, and experts recognize between 17 to 19 subspecies of this falcon, mostly divided by the region in which they live. The relationship between the peregrine falcon and humans dates back more than 3,000 years to falconry, which began in Central Asia, where it was used to locate prey that humans would capture. During World War II, these animals were used to intercept messenger pigeons that were used to send important messages, which can be seen in the pigeon video. Today, peregrine falcons are used to scare birds at airports, reducing the risk of bird strikes with aircraft, thus improving air traffic safety. They are also used as an alternative biological control system in agriculture, reducing the number of other bird species and rodents that damage crops or transmit diseases to livestock. In cities, wild falcons have been observed reducing the population of wild pigeons, rats, and mice, and they have perfectly adapted to this new ecosystem, becoming an animal that has greatly helped humans. This species is currently of least concern, but it was not always like this. Between the 1950s and 1970s, their population declined so much that they were on the brink of extinction. This was due to a pesticide called DDT, which was used on farms, though over time it was banned because it had been one of the most commonly used pesticides. The detail is that many bird species that fed on grains from these farms became contaminated with this chemical, and these birds were then eaten by the falcon, which acquired the product. If you're thinking that they died instantly, that wasn't the case. What happened was that this pesticide interfered with the formation of the eggshells, causing them to be thinner, and as a result, fewer chicks survived the incubation. This led to the extinction of this bird in places like the United States and Belgium, for example. However, thanks to the regulation of chemicals used in agricultural activities, as well as captive breeding and subsequent reintroduction, this bird made a comeback. Now, it soars through the skies again, marveling those who have the subtlety to take the time to observe it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like it and share it so more people can discover this channel. If you're new, I invite you to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.